Hey everyone, welcome to Logan Smosh Pig. Glad to have you here. Do me a favor and please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's launch into a new episode of Rock and Read. Today we'll read Chapter 16 and Chapter 17 of Crazy from the Heat by Van Halen's original vocalist, David Lee Roth. Now, let's see how Chapter 16 unfolds. Late 78, 79, Studio 54, Interview Magazine, the Warhol Gang, Bianca, Calvin, you name it, and I made friends with the music journalist, Lisa Robinson. She said, "Dave, I gotta show you something special." And we went down into the meatpacking district, and there's this underground bondage club called Hellfire. Very famous. I'll never forget, right in front of us was a very demure-looking little gal, early 30s, bobbed haircut, very school-teacherish looking, red dress. We paid our way in, and it's very cavernous and dark, and as my eyes were adjusting, I look over to the side, and I noticed that she had taken off all of her clothing and put it in a nice, neat little folded librarian pile on a little bench, and was wearing full bondage gear. Stockings, Merry Widow corset, panties, garters, gloves, the whole thing. And as my eyes adjusted, I see that half the people in the place are undressed. Guys crawling on their hands and knees in leather jock straps. One big guy, big dock worker guy, leather jock strap, got leather gloves on. He's holding maybe 14 little pieces of fishing line, a foot and a half long, with fish hooks on the end of it. People were chained and getting whipped. I had to go to the bathroom. It's pitch black. In the men's room, there's a bathtub to urinate in. I position my legs against the edge of the bathtub. I'm starting to take a leak, and I hear a little voice that says, "A little more to the left." So I kind of flare my elbows a little bit. I can't feel anybody next to me. There was somebody in the bathtub. First thing I thought was, do I tip this guy? Well, the Hellfire went the way of all flogged flesh. About 3 summers ago, I was at a Halloween party sitting with a group of people, and Elle McPherson, the fashion model, shows up. And she's wearing a Catwoman suit. You know, Catwoman. Vacuum-packed PVC with the heels and the mask and the whole thing. She's with her boyfriend. Everybody says, "Where should we go? Let's go somewhere." I know a great place for Halloween. Let's go to the vault. We walked into this place. It's packed. All kinds. You had people in tuxedos, people in leather jock straps, everything in between. Some guy throws himself at Elle McPherson's feet. She says, "Oh my God, what's he doing?" "Well, honey, have some fun. He loves it. Be mean." She says, "I couldn't do that." I said, "You're a woman. You come by it naturally. Tell him he's a jerk." She goes, "You jerk. He loves it." She goes, "You hole. He's coming unglued." A little light comes from underneath that Catwoman mask. Pretty soon she's got 3-4 guys on all fours, kissing her boots, whatever, and she's posing for them and saying, "Worthless bum." This kind of thing. The only one who wasn't enjoying it was her boyfriend. Well, that concludes Chapter 16, so why don't we move on to Chapter 17. My Grandma Roth came to shows whenever I would play in Miami, up until she was about 96, 97 years old. It was funny because she would wear these big, oversized Converse tennis shoes that Cousin Jimmy had given her. My aunts and uncles would walk her in, and I'd see her backstage before the show. We would give her earplugs and everything, and they would go into this massive, glutted crowd. It was animal seating on the floor. It was really wild, really hysterical in there. They'd be walking her in slow, and the security guys with the gorillas in front, to clear a space, to get her to her seat, they'd be shouting, "Get out of the way! We got Dave Roth's grandmother here!" It would be like the Red Sea parting. She would sit down, and people would come from all over the arena to give her five and salute her and say, "Right on." She would sit, and she'd make it through 3 songs, 'cause she was afraid that the sound was going to break her bones apart. She expressed this directly. She felt that the vibration of the music would shake her to pieces, so she could only make it through about 3 songs. Then they would take her home, but she never missed a show. Well, we made it through chapter 17 as well. Let me know what you thought of both chapters in the comments below. That does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Till then, rock on.